Hello, folks. I am back. What if a P226 and a P320 were married together and then they had a child? What would that child look like? It would look like this. It would look like this new Sig Sauer P320 AXG Scorpion Custom Works. And I saw this at work, and it was the only one that shipped. And I asked my boss, could I have this? And he gave me the green light on this. And so I immediately picked this up from the stock that came in. So I'm really grateful that he would allow me to purchase this. And I have this now in my possession. There are a few videos out there on YouTube regarding this particular firearm. Just so you know, all firearms are safety check. Those are here for aesthetics, but they have been safety check. I just want to let you see that this is a empty and safe firearm. Okay, let me just hurry up and get through this. I'm going to go through just the overview because of my plans to do a shooting uh, review on this as well would be too long in a video. So let me get to the specs on this. Like I said, this is the AXG Scorpion from Sig Sauer P320, and it's from the Custom Workshop. The AXG stands for aluminum X grip because this is part of the X series of the uh, P320 line. Let me go through this. It does come with three magazines. It's shipped with three magazines, and they come in the configurations in 10 and 17 round magazines. I live in a free state, so therefore I have the 17 round magazines. And if you notice, the witness holes in the back are facing toward the shooter, which is very good because some of them were on the side. So that was a unique change on this particular magazine. I'll get into more about this magazine in a moment. One thing good about, like I said, with this magazine, it comes with three. This firearm is also compliant in various numbers of states. In those states, usually people ask me if the firearm is compliant with certain states. I'm going to go over them with you. It's going to be also compliant in Colorado, Connecticut, Hawaii, New Jersey, New York, and Vermont. Because a lot of times I get people ask me outside of the free states, what is this firearm compliant with? It does have its usual SIG X-ray day-night sights you see right here, which is pretty common on most of their 320s. And of course, you will see the optic plate here. We'll get back to that in a moment. It is the carry size. The overall length is going to be 7.4 inches. Uh, the overall width is going to be 1.3 inches. The height is going to be 5.5 inches. The barrel length is going to be 3.9 inches. Also, the weight is going to be 31.3 ounces. I haven't weighed this on my scale, but I'm going by from what the information has been provided to me. Also, uh, I the sight radius. The sight radius is going to be 5.8 inches, as well as it has what we call a standard pick rail M1913 rail with, I guess you would see, roughly about three slots here. Uh, I mentioned before, this is the AXG grip. The AXG grip is what they call their aluminum X grip. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that and what's going on with this. And the color, as you see, is flat dark earth, and it is has that what they call the frame. The frame material is a alloy. It is, of course, frame is also finished in the Cerakote look. That is probably their when they make their Scorpion models, they're usually with the Cerakote, as well as, if you notice, these grips have Scorpion trademark. It does vary from model to model sometimes. Also, the slide is, of course, of FDE. The slide is made of the stainless steel material. One of the other things, one of the reasons why I got this firearm is, and why I'm really happy about this firearm is because I was wondering if there would ever be a P226 that was going to have a that was somewhat married to, let's say, their Striker Fire P320, and that's what they did in this particular case. The grip panels on this, one thing that's interesting, which you've probably seen on firearms like uh, the HK comes to mind, and you think about this as like an HK grip slash 1911 grip. What I mean by that is these panels are going to be able to come out right here. And this is going to be later on down the line. They don't have different panels as of yet, but it's coming out really soon because these panels are going to be able to come out. You'll take these out, so you'll be and with other vendors that they have, and also with Sig themselves, you'll be able to put different panels here. Also, if you look here, there's also the backstrap grip panel here. There will be a connection here where you'll be able to change the size of this backstrap grip like you see on other firearms such as the Glocks and so forth, where you have the different backstrap grips. So this will be able to do that at a later date. Like I said, the custom works division is pumping these out right now. This is in this particular configuration standard. One of the other things is it's also reminiscent of the P226, and I have mentioned about how the panels are. Now, if you look here on this 226 here, you're going to see a slight similarity how the grips are made. This is the TAC Ops version, so this is a little more exaggerated at the bottom here. But if you look, there is quite the similarity between the two here. And another big similarity is I mentioned that the grips can come off. Notice that these are standard flathead screwdrivers here, reminiscent of the flathead screwdrivers that are right here on your pretty much your standard 226s of the earlier years. Some of the newer 226s or so forth in the classic line have the new I believe they call that the E2 grip or something of that nature. But that this is pretty much a throwback, and a lot of people like these particular slotted screws uh, because a lot of them don't like the hex screws. Sometimes they strip those, or those hex screws don't match up with their tools. So this is pretty standard. If you notice, pretty much the styling is similar to the 226 in that particular way right here. The only difference is now it's a brought into a modern age with your regular P320s right now. So it's a marriage between the two. Uh, One of the other features is what they call the, I'm sorry, I also neglected to mention that if you notice on other P320s, look at this magazine release. The magazine release, as you see, it has more like of a triangular look. Well, the magazine release on this is reminiscent of the older style. It is a round magazine release, which will make some people happy. I've noticed exactly that it does give a positive release right here. The definite positive release. I'm gonna leave the magazine out because I have to talk about that. Um, and that's one of the things. It does not protrude out yet, but I will let you know on my shooting review when I do this. I'm going to the range tomorrow to see if my hand will interfere or if this sticks out too far, and to see how this magazine release will work. Um, what I wanted to also mention about the magazine, this magazine has something special with it. They call this the XFL magazine. It sounds like a football team, but this is the XFL magazine. What I mean by that is, if it has this, what it stands for is extended feed lips. So as you see right here, the extended feed lips right here, which is supposed to help ensure that the rounds would feed properly inside the chamber when racking the slide, as well as during normal shooting function. So this is one of the other upgrades that they did with this magazine. Also, referring to my notes again, also I have mentioned that this is part of the custom works uh, division of Sig Sauer. Now, there are going to be a lot of different things that are going on with Sig Sauer now. Look at TFB TV. I think James Reeves explains it a little further um, with I believe his name is Bill Schrader from Sig Sauer, their product manager. What they are doing is expanding the whole P320 thing. They are really kicking this off. So there's going to be like 20 different vendors that you can make different configurations, and that's what their custom works. And one of the things that they're doing is a lot of different companies, Icarus Precision, etc. You'll be able to build your own with the FCU component here, which is the fire control unit. Now you can buy these separate. Speaking of the trigger, this trigger is actually an X5 trigger. So these are going to come with the standard X5 triggers. Now, because this is a special edition one, yes, the price is a little pricey on this particular firearm, but I didn't care. I liked it anyway, and it comes with this special coin that everybody loves with the Legion line. So that's what you get with that. I'll mention about the case later, but I want to talk a little more about the firearm where there's going to be not only this particular version, there is going to be what they call a standard version, and that standard version is going to be, from what I've watched on talk with Sig, they're going to have a standard version that is going to be somewhere with the MSRP of 750 to 850. This is what I've heard. Don't quote me on that. And this is what I've saw on a couple of videos with Max Michel. Uh, the standard version is basically, from what I saw, was they had this same firearm with the black slide, and these panels are going to be black, solid black. That's the only one that I saw so far. One of the other features here is going to be, as you see, the Sig X-ray night sights, which everybody is familiar with. Like I said, this is the carry size, which is really a nice size. Uh, One of the other things to mention is the checkering in the front is really good, so you'll get that really good grip. The one of the Especially when you're gripping, you not only the checkering, the undercut is really nice. Now, here's one of the upgrades that I like on here is the trigger. The trigger guard is a little different. If you notice on the regular on some of the X series and on other P320s, you'll see pretty much the sharp trigger uh, guard there. If you notice, it's kind of like shaved off. Uh, when one of the biggest features on here is going to be the sights. Now, a lot of people have complained because their favorite sight was not able to fit on here. What it, you know it's going to take the Sig Romeo 1 Pro. You know it's going to take the Leopold Delta Point Pro. But new this time around, it's going to be the first time they're going to have the Trijicon RMR compatibility with this, and the good part is you don't need any optic plates for this. A lot of times you have to buy optic plates, wait for the optic plates to come through so you can put on your own RMR, etc. Uh, all you do, take the plate off, put the optic on. It's simple as that. And I did mention that it does have the Legion trigger. Um, one of the What's interesting is I'm surprised that no other manufacturers in the striker fire world has not gone this route with an aluminum alloy. The only other company I could think of is Walther with its PPQ line with the X4 steel frame, which is the closest that this is going to come to. I've felt a PPQ Q4 steel frame before. It is, in my opinion, from my memory, it is a little bit heavier, but it's really busy in the fact with the grip because there's a lot of curves and everything going on. This is a familiar feel because I've been shooting 226s, 220s, 225s, uh, you name it. I've been shooting that with that particular feel, and this brings you to a flashback to that particular feel. So immediately this is the reason why I wanted to pick this up, because immediately when I felt this, it was exactly reminiscent of those particular firearms. So I'm kind of like veering off from a lot of the polyguns right now anyway, but this is something that it's very familiar. The beaver tail is not really over obtrusive. It just gives you that protection, and it's right there. You get a good grip, good purchase, and that's something that you would want in a firearm. I really like this firearm from the perspective of feel, but when I go shooting tomorrow, I will do a follow up video, and I I expect nothing but good things out of it. But hey, you never know. So I will report back to you with that information. Like I said, this is a custom works firearm. As you see here, it's written here. Uh, and also like I previously stated, yes, there will be a regular model of this. You know how Sig is; they will have different models, different features. Who knows, the nightmare version or whatnot? But they are really killing it this year with all these different things that they're doing. Now I know people are not happy with Sig a lot of times with certain things. Um, what I want SIG to do is I don't want them to go too fast on things, but I want them to be able, if you're going to put out these products and pump them out fast, I want that quality control up. And that's all you could ask for from a firearms manufacturer, is to have good quality control. Uh, One other thing I want to mention is these modules, these frames are going to be available by themselves. So if you have like any of the X series of fire control units from your other firearms, such as this one, will fit into this particular frame. So that's all I have, folks. I don't want to run this any further. I will get back to you to let you know how it shoots. So with that said, uh, basically, happy shooting, stay safe, hashtag 2A.